Berlin. Berlin is the place I studied, idealised, and got so very close to, but never quite made it. I studied German for 7 years, communist history for 2 years, and spent the last 5 years gradually giving up on the dream of ever going to Berlin. But in June, Hannah and I started our great interrail adventure in Berlin, staying there for 3 days before moving on to Prague. We hadn't planned intentionally to go on a communist tour of Europe, but as we struck out on a mission to find Checkpoint Charlie on the first night, we realised the theme of the trip. One of the best pieces of leftover communism in Berlin is the East Side Gallery, a section of wall left standing, covered in art of celebration, freedom, and other things that art is great for that I don't understand. It's one of the few pieces of the wall that remain, as proved by our attempt to retrace the original route and find any remaining visible differences between East and West Berlin. There are no remaining visible differences between East and West Berlin. The gallery has been painted over several years, some of the pieces becoming famous in their own right, and some of them being sneaky adverts for the club down the road. The results are bright and colourful and interesting. And at the end of the gallery, a small shop selling communist souvenirs in which there must be, surely, a very deep and meaningful message about capitalism for someone willing to put more thought into these things than me. Incidentally, you can also buy a passport stamp into the DDR for €1.
Hello.
Yeah.
What did you just do?
I just got a passport stamp from East Berlin.
Berlin isn't all about its communist past, of course. There's also the history of the whole of Germany, including 2 world wars. It's a history which they, as the not victors, did not write, and have no control over. It has resulted in countless memorials, each respectful and interesting, not afraid to be honest about what many consider to be too shameful a past to confront.
Hannah? Where are we?
We don't really know.
Where are we supposed to be?
At the Berlin Wall Memorial.
How long has it taken us to get here?
About an hour.
How good are we
still
at
not-
navigating?
Very bad.
Good.
Quite bad at this right now.
Glad to clear that up. Whose fault is it mostly?
No.
Hannah's fault.
No.
Do you think someone's buried in there?
Probably.
Cool.
It's more that it looks like it's been bricked up and the wall's kind of coming out.
Do you think someone's trying to escape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vampire. I like that it feels that this is more of a memorial of it coming down.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I don't feel like it's being like
I think we shouldn't celebrate the fact that there was a
there.
wall.
Like that's not what's being celebrated. The fact that's being celebrated is the fact it came down.
There's another side to the city too, a living side of people growing up in the shadow of communism, war, and of people at the heart of a united Europe. Berlin is well known for having some of the best nightclubs in all the land, and it makes for an interesting night out. We joined a tour group. For annoying as they may be, they also mean you're not the foreign twats wandering around the city looking lost at 2 a.m. The tour we found entitled itself The Alternative Tour, and aimed to take groups to places that offered something a little bit different. The most different of these, perhaps, was the ping pong club. Hannah, having lived in Thailand for a year, joined the tour a little afraid that it would involve women spitting ping pong balls out of somewhere other than their mouths, but it turned out to really just be a room which offered a giant game of table tennis and kept some drinks in the fridge. The tour ended in an abandoned and bombed-out train depot, now home to many different bars and clubs. I'm told that I attempted to climb through a hole too small even for me, but since the previous bar was an absinthe bar, I couldn't tell you. We didn't stay long enough in Berlin. As we began what was the first of many, many train journeys, when they were still romantic and we felt that we could be in a black and white film set in Paris, we discussed what we had seen. The art, the history, the politics. And what did we conclude? We like Berlin. Cool. God, we're intellectual people.
Cool. Look at us and our knowledge.
And our hair.
That's just my hair. I'm just gonna hide now.
You look lovely.
Thank you. Look like Cousin It.
I don't know what that means. What are your views on the Berlin Wall Memorial?
I'm gonna take a photo of you taking a photo.
That's an excellent view to have.